Alright, in this video we're going to look at FOIL and the opposite of FOIL. So here, let's first review FOIL. FOIL is first, outer, inner, last. So if we multiply this out, the first term times the first term, that gets you x squared. Then we've got the outer terms, okay, that's the outer terms, so x times negative 3 is negative 3x. Then we've got the inner terms, 2 times x, which is positive 2x. And then we've got the last terms of each. We've got 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. Then typically you combine up like terms, so these two terms can combine together. So that leaves you with x squared, this is minus 1x, and then minus 6. Okay? So this is your first term. This is actually your outer and inner term, and then this is your last term. Okay? So now, if we want to factor that expression, so this is the same expression, and we wanted to go back to two sets of parentheses, how would we go about doing that? Well, let's look. So here's your two sets of parentheses. Well, the first term times the first term has to get you the first term. So what times what gets you x squared? That would be x times x. Then what you typically do is you go to the last term. The last term times the last term. Well, the last term times the last term has to get you the last term, which is a negative 6. Now, let's deal with the negative first. In order to multiply two numbers together to get a negative, what do your signs need to be? Well, they need to be opposite signs. So one of these numbers is going to be positive, one of these numbers is going to be negative. Okay? Now we need factors here of 6, because this number times this number gets you that number. So we need factors of 6. Well, what are our factors of 6? We've got 1 and 6, or we've got 2 and 3. So we're looking for factors of 6 that, because the signs are opposite, remember that the middle term, this is first terms get you the first term, last term gets you the last term, but the outers and inners, get you this middle term. So that's these, this is your outers, these are your inners. So we multiply x times this negative number and this x times this positive number, they need to combine together to get you negative x. Well, positive and a negative will ultimately get subtracted when you combine those together. So which of these will get you a negative 1? Can you get a negative 1 out of a 1 and a 6? No. How about out of a 2 and a 3? Well, sure. If the 3 was negative and the 2 was positive, you could get negative 1. So 3 goes here, 2 goes there. Okay? So that's the process you need to go through when factoring a quadratic. And we'll get more practice with this later on in this lesson.